Greetings to all melanated people all around the world. It's really a joy, it's a blessing. It's an honor to be out here in nature and greeting you, knowing that I'm bringing a message of love, joy, peace, and happiness to you. And most of all, a message of emancipation to you, a message that would set you free. And as you know already, the basis of my teaching is that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is the Bible secular history. And the stories of the Bible, they are allegory. Okay, so basically solar allegory and phallic and much, much more. I can go to astronomy, astrology, numerology, all of these things, they're all in the Bible. Okay, and I say all of that just to lay a foundation to share with you my experience of something I didn't even know about. Now, I never know that it had something called Joy Fest that Christians normally take part in and celebrate. But where I'm carrying on my business, yesterday there was a lot of noise and very disturbing because I couldn't get to do any work at all on my laptop. And as you all know, those of you who've been following me, that I've been producing books, and I was actually correcting my 8th book. And so yesterday I couldn't really do anything like so because of the noise. So actually yesterday I wanted was to go up there, but the person who was there with me also told me maybe it's just for one day, so don't really, you know, make anything out of it. So I leave it at that. Surprisingly enough, today in the morning, because yesterday was in the morning right up till past the afternoon, maybe around say 2, around there, was the same thing again. And the music and the noise is very high, and the area in which they're having this meeting, of which I didn't really know about, okay? Because if it was a praying and fasting and so on, I could understand they doing it at that time of day and so on. I could understand all of that. But being around where there's so much business place around, it's a crowded area also. You have business places, you have all of these things around. These people who profess to be the people of God, who's supposed to be wise people, who's supposed to be as harmless as a dove and as wise as a serpent, supposed to make sure that whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it decently and in order, because they are to be the example in the world based on what they are saying. Now, the very Bible that they read tells you that they are to be the light of the world, and they are to let the light so shine before men that they may behold the good works and glorify the God they are speaking about, which means you have to see God in them. So action basically speaks more than words. Now, as you know, I always teach that the golden rule of life is this: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the first rule you have to know. You can't talk about the Bible or talk about God and you do not know the golden rule of life. If you do not know the golden rule of life, how could you lead or direct anyone or speak to anyone concerning life or even the book of life? Because the Bible is the book of life that's leading us and directing us how to walk in this world by teaching us how to control our thinking. Now, I wanted them to get a taste of their own medicine. I wanted them to understand the divine law of reproduction, that every seed and every species will reproduce after its own kind, and that whatsoever you sow, that also shall you reap. I wanted them to know that you can't plant pumpkin and reap watermelon. You can't sow negativity and expect to reap positivity. Also, I wanted them to understand cause and effect. That every cause and effect, and every effect has a cause. Also, I wanted them to understand that whatever you sow, that also shall you reap. I think I would have mentioned that before. Okay? So I wanted them to understand these simple principles of life. Because I know when I went up there and I showed them a picture of themselves, or shine the mirror before them, that they in turn was going to call me a devil, they was going to call me demon, they were going to rebuke, they was going to pity blood, they was going to do all of that. Because to them, I was disturbing their service and their worship of their God. But they can't see that they were disturbing me in my worship. They can't see that they were disturbing me in my place of meditation, my place of zen, my place of humbleness, my place of calmness, my place of quietness, my place where I can be more in touch with the God that is within me. They can't see that. So I went up there. Because they were sowing noise, I went back and I sowed noise. They were sowing disturbance, I went back and I sowed disturbance. And when I did that, I went up there and I opened my voice as loud as possible and tell them if they forget that businesses are wrong here and the noise and why they can't try to control the noise. From the time I get up there and I open my big mouth and I went to the front, everybody just came at me one time and started rebuking. And I rebuking in the name of Jesus. And then some speaking in tongues. They didn't hear no right mighty rushing when they didn't see no tongues of cloven on the fire over their head, but they're speaking in tongues. And I was like, what's going on with these people? Then they all up in my face and rebuking. Then I went and I sat on the stage. Because they came now after they start using verbal abuse at me, like saying, calling me the devil and this and rebuking this and that, not knowing that the devil just represented negative thinking. They do not know that, so I actually excuse them for that. Okay, and what they think is demon is basically negative thinking, and when negative thinking take a place within you and control you, it's basically a demon. Also, they do not know when they go in the supermarket and they declare that things is expensive and they can't buy it and all of that. That's a demon. The demon of doubt, controlling. They don't know all of these things. So I excuse them. You understand? But I want to show you how dark these people are. Okay? That claiming that they have truth and how delusional they are. Okay, so after they start speaking, I told them that Mark 16:16 give them power to cast out. So go ahead, speak. But you know they went further. And holding on to me, assaulting me, grabbing on my hand. There's one there who hit me so hard in my head, saying he rebuking and all kind of foolishness. And the thing started to look, you know, real nasty because they're grabbing at me and I had to push some of them and say, do not touch me. I don't want you to touch me. Instead, they try to listen. One woman that was there, that I sense her energy was different. She was calm. She wasn't rebuking and cursing and chanting me. She wanted us to know what was affecting me. And that was the only woman I wanted was to speak to. And while I tried to speak to that woman, they trying to grab on me. It was one confusion. There was no order, nothing. You don't know who's the leader. You don't know who's the apostle, who's the pastor. You don't know who's the bishop. You don't know none of those things. Even how this operating. It was a bunch of just a bunch of confusion and chaos. And some of them have different thinking in their mind, thinking they come to mash up their service. Some of them think they're some demon man, some occult man, some devil man. Because when I was going back out, one of them, they seems like they spat my ankle and they don't know what is an ankle. They started whispering and then I don't want to go ahead of myself because I went back up, you know what I mean? Because when I went back up, they were talking about occult and all of these things because they do not know occult just mean that which is hidden and so on. They do not know that. Some of them doesn't even know this is what you call an ankh. They do not know. So we have to actually even excuse them. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm using this video to show you how deep the darkness and the ignorance goes. Okay? And so because of this one lady whose approach was different and had different energy, I was willing because even some of them was talking about going for the police. Okay? But this one woman, you know what I mean? When the other one speak, I was telling her I don't want to hear anything from them. I only listen to this woman only. Because she was different. Was far much different energy. So I went out and so on. And there, when I went out, I get to tell her how much, you know, they wasn't acting in wisdom and so on. And you know, and I get to express myself. Then I went back over by my business because I couldn't do no work on my laptop. You understand? I decided, you know what? I'll go and join them. I'll go up there and I'll sit with them and listen to what they have to say. And I know some of these people who have just called me a devil, just called me a demon, some of them, they're going to smile at me. Some of them, they're going to want to shake my hand. Some of them, they would want to encourage me to come to the service in the night because they were saying they were going to have service in the night. I knew all of this was going to happen. And I went back right there to look them in their face. And I went back there to look many of them in their face. And when they started to give me this kind of finger up, you understand, I'll give them my serious face. Just to show them how double-tongued they are and how hypocritical they can be. Okay? And so I listened to them and everything they were saying, I realized they do not understand energy, vibration, and frequency. Some speak about how they get certain money and get home. And so on. One of them who says he's an apostle, he was talking about he live in a home which is $2.1 million, but I guess it's Guyanese dollars he was speaking about. Anyway, and he was saying that how Trump and his men are using principle from the Bible as if the Bible belongs to Christian and Trump and them taking out the principle. But what he do not understand is energy, vibration, and frequency. He do not understand how to manipulate the elements. He do not understand the creation story. He do not understand how to create. He doesn't understand that you can create your reality consciously. They do not understand that it is your thoughts that is creating a reality. There's so much things they do not understand. They do not understand that they are responsible for the thoughts. They do not understand that the devil and demons is basically speaking about negativity. They didn't understand all of these things. That's why. So they were acting negatively to me, thinking that I acted negative. But I was just showing them what they were doing was negative. Because every action will give you a reaction. I was teaching them cause and effect. I was trying to get to that long time, but it just wasn't coming. Cause and effect. They do not understand cause and effect. They do not know these things. They do not know that the universe is governed by certain laws. They just do not know these things. You know, and so at the end they advertised their book for selling and so on. And to see I was correct in my book. And they distracted me from my book. But yet they advertising the sales on their book and their DVDs and so on and all of that. You know, and they do not believe in that. Well, they're proclaiming the word of God and so on. And many of the people who want to buy the books and so on, for many years they've been paying tithes and paying offering. No windows I have opened up and pour them out a blessing. That they don't have room enough to store. You know what I mean? But, you know, I say all of this to say, you know, the experience is one that really vindicate the truth that really Christianity is really for people who can't really think for themselves, and people who are delusional and superstitious. And I'm so glad I escaped Christianity, having spent 5 years in that kind of prison and that kind of ignorance. And I was able to control myself very intelligently because all I wanted was for the noise to calm down a little bit so I could go and do my work. Also, that all of us can do what we call on this earth to do. If they believe they have to do that, fine. I believe I have to do what I have to do. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Okay? You know, at the end, they want to invite me to come back tonight, which is tonight, for their service and so on. Because how I came back there, maybe some of them in the delusional mind believe, well, probably they do something to me. And maybe I need their Jesus. When everybody already have Jesus, because Jesus Christ is the creative power in every man. That's why when you learn that, you'll be able to create your reality consciously. You're not been going on and on and on and on, but I just want to bring across that joy fest experience, you know, to show you the ignorance and the depth of ignorance that our people are really dwelling in, you know, believing in Christianity by believing that the Bible is secular history and believe that the Bible is literal. But we who are more enlightened, we know that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. So with that being said, I want to thank you very much, and I want to now give you the sign of enlightenment, which is the sign they are afraid of and believe that it is occultic and it's evil and so on. And occult just means that which is hidden, basically. And before I even do that, let me say to you, if you're new to this channel, to what I am saying, if you would like to know more of what I am teaching, I would encourage you to check the link down below where my books are, so you can check out the link down below. And let me give thanks to those who have been supporting the books and those who have been supporting us on Patreon also. Now I give you the sign of enlightenment, because this message is the single eye message of self-realization. And Matthew 6:22 tell you, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brothers and my sisters, when you get to experience that light that it is speaking about, you come to realize it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. And Malachi 4:2 tell you that the sun, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. His, as if he's speaking about a person. The sun is speaking about. And in Psalm 84:11, he said, the Lord thy God is a S-U-N, a sun and a shield. And if you have common sense, you know there's only one S-U-N in this world. And you come to know that without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And that's St. John 1 and verse 3. And you come to realize that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. And we are the people of the sun. Therefore, let us use our mind power to achieve our every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.